Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we will be talking about ocean currents. Ocean currents are basically huge masses of water, and it is a regular movement of water in the ocean from one part of the ocean to another part. So these masses of water, they move from one part to another because of the differences in the density of sea water and also because of the variations in temperature as well as in salinity. Even the prevailing winds push them onwards. That is why water moves from one place to another. Near the equator, the temperature is higher as compared to the regions which are near the poles. So, consequently, when we move from the equator towards the poles, the temperature keeps on decreasing. The sea, which is near the equatorial region, is also heated up and it gradually moves towards the poles. Whereas near the poles, the temperature is much cooler and they move towards the equator. So, this is the cause of the circulation of seawater. Because of the rotation of the earth, Coriolis effect is caused. Due to this Coriolis effect, all the winds as well as ocean currents, they are deflected towards the right in the northern hemisphere and the left in the southern hemisphere. One of the important effects of ocean currents is that it affects and modifies the climate of the coastal region along which they flow. Suppose it is the Gulf Stream, which is a warm ocean current. This current enables ice free winter conditions along the ports of Western Europe, where most of the regions of Western Europe are frozen with ice, but because of the flow of Gulf Stream, this region becomes ice free. Another importance of ocean currents are that these ocean currents enable the ships to flow in a particular direction faster. If the ships are moving in the direction of the ocean current, then the speed is increased, and if it is moving in the opposite direction, the speed is decreased or hindered. Ocean currents also enable planktons or the chief food of fish to grow in abundance, especially in the cold water. So, the mixing of cold and warm ocean water through the currents are ideal for fishing. A lot of fishes grow and planktons grow in these regions. So, therefore, the coastal regions of Newfoundland, northern Japan, Cape Town are ideal for growing fishes. Now let's begin with the ocean currents. The first ocean current we will be talking about is the west wind drift. The other name of this ocean current is Antarctic drift or Antarctic current. It encircles the Antarctic continent in the South Pole. So it is beyond 40 degrees south. This ocean current flows from west to eastern direction. So it approaches the northern land masses, that is of South America, Africa and Australia. It also carries huge mass of cold water along with the coastal regions. So therefore South America, South Africa and Australia becomes cold because of this current. The west wind drift is the largest ocean current. This west wind drift flows along the western coast of Africa as the cold Venezuela current. So, Venezuela current is an extension of this west wind drift. This Venezuela current, when it moves towards the equatorial region between 0 to 10 degrees south, it basically becomes the south equatorial current. And towards the equatorial region it becomes warm, and then it moves towards the South Atlantic region as Brazil current. So this is a circulation of ocean currents from the west wind drift towards the Venezuela current as cold current, and as it reaches equatorial region it becomes warm current and again flows down as Brazil current. The equatorial current, which is passing along the equatorial region above 0 degree, is the north equatorial current, which is again a warm current. It becomes Antilles current as it passes the West Indies. So the equatorial current, when it passes along different regions, it is known by different names. When it passes across Florida Strait in USA, it is called as Florida current. Another group of currents are the Gulf Stream, which passes along the Cape Hatteras to the south of Great Banks in USA. The Gulf Stream is a warm current. It flows eastwards, forming the North Atlantic Current. When it moves towards the east, it again turns south, becoming the cool Canary Current because it has already flown across the Arctic region. So, this is the extension of the Labrador Current, which is a cold current that flows southwards from the Arctic region around 45 degrees north. It divides into two halves. The first half joins the North Atlantic Current and becomes warm, and the other half joins the South Equatorial Current. So, this is again a different kind of circulation of currents. Now, let's talk about the ocean currents of the Pacific Ocean. The west wind drift flows northwards along the Pacific Ocean along the coast of South America as the Peru current, which is a cold current. The Peru current is a very important cold current which flows along the coast of Peru, which is in South America. This also enables abundant planktons to grow in the cold waters and which attracts myriads of small and large fishes, and these fishes in turn attracts millions of birds which depend upon these fishes. So it's a small desert island which has got lots of important habitats because of this current. So the south equatorial current along the Pacific Ocean moves towards Australia and New Zealand as Australian current, as well as New South Wales current, which is an extension of the equatorial current. That is why they are warm currents. Whereas the waters of the North Equatorial Current divides into two halves, that is along the Philippines. The one half forms kuroshio or the Japan Current and the other half towards the south. This kuroshio current starts moving eastwards, forming the North Pacific Current. So the kuroshio current is a warm ocean current which is an extension of the North Equatorial Current, and it merges with the oyashio current, which is a cold current in Japan, making Japan a very important fishing ground. The other name of oyashio current is Kuril current that flows east coast along the Kamchatka Peninsula and the Kuril Islands. Kuroshio current is very important current of Japan because it enables Japan to increase its temperature and remain warm. And when it merges with the oyashio and the Kuril currents, dense fogs are caused.